Good morning, it's Monday the 22nd of May, it's day 52. I'm doing a double post today because yesterday it rained. I spent the day doing vlog editing. Today it's a rainy day, so I'm spending my time editing the vlogs, uploading them to the blog, backing up all of my photos and doing some preparation work for China and Kazakhstan. And then I went to Turkish baths, hammam. We are stepping into hammam. This will be interesting. So we are all in the changing rooms, ready to get changed, to our towels, put our slippers on and go in to see the hammam. We're all like nervous, slightly nervous about what's about to unfold. Never before did I envisage myself getting touched by a Turkish man. I am absolutely wrecked, which I'll tell you about later.
My English is so hard.
Yeah, your English is going to either be awesome or
We develop our own language.
Yeah. German.
Jinglish.
Frenchness.
French. See you later, guys. Bye. Just come out of the metro station to high-rise buildings. This visa place is in a high-rise building. This is so bizarre. Hyundai have their Istanbul offices here. Not sure I'm in the right place. I'm sitting in the visa application centre waiting for my number to be called. So I've just left the application centre. I've been there 5 seconds and they've told me that if you're not a Turkish national, you cannot get a visa here anymore for China. So despite what it says on the internet, if you don't have a residence permit, you can't get a visa for China in Turkey, apparently. Does anyone know the way to Georgia?
What? You
can't get a visa in Turkey.
You can't.
You have to be a resident. So I've got to go to Georgia.
You go to Georgia?
Yeah. So all the bikes are ready to be leaving. And despite the fact that I said goodbye to the guys this morning, I'm again travelling with them. Every time I go to cycle on my own, some divining act happens and I end up carrying on with the guys. So it's obviously a sign. On to Georgia, I guess, now. On our way out of Istanbul, we've got to cross to the other side of the river over there. So we're just getting a ferry boat over because you can't cycle on the bridge. It's just absolutely beautiful. The colour of the water there is amazing. And we're just saying goodbye to Daniel, who's going to go south that way to a lake and then cycle all the way up. So yeah, another goodbye, which, yeah, it's not great, but we hope to see him again. So this is what it looks like to travel on a ferry in Istanbul with your bikes and have everyone stare at you as you get on. These are the bikes. Stefan here, Frenchman, who joined us in the hostel. Vitaly, who's trying to get out of the video again as per usual. Unfortunately, we've lost Martin. Martin's injury in his legs is too bad, and he's going to stay in the hostel for a little bit longer to try and recuperate. Get well soon, buddy. We hope to see you shortly. Have a nice rest, lay on a beach, and then come get a train and meet us. Over there is the European side where we've been staying. Look at the colour of this water. And here is the Asian side where we've just crossed over, and we're now going to carry on up this way. But just look at the water and the bridge, how beautiful Istanbul is. Down the Gower in Swansea, you get sheep on the cliff. In Turkey, you get cows, full-grown cows on the edge of a cliff overlooking the beach and the Black Sea. This is the current view from my tent. We've just camped on a beach on the Black Sea again, absolutely epic, and we've seen dolphins, and that there is a submarine. The closest one to us, that's a submarine. I may have this completely wrong, but a couple of weeks ago A friend of mine told me that the British Navy were sailing into the Black Sea because of the ongoing conflict. That ship, furthest left on the screen at the moment, you can't see very well, but it's a ship that goes up like a triangle and down again, and looks more like a battleship, warship, than it does the container ships like you can see on the right. So you've got the submarine over here and the warship furthest left there. That must be the British warship that sailed into the Black Sea because of the conflict ongoing, and I reckon then that submarine that you can now see in the middle of the screen is probably a Russian submarine that's watching the British warship. Could be. Awesome if it is, because that's incredible. So, the Hamim, the Turkish bar. We walked into a place that we walked in off of the street into what looked like we were going into a shop, and we end up in a courtyard with 4 stories going up above us, but a roof over the top, and little rooms on the running along the side to our right with windows in. And a guy tells us to go into the little room with the glass windows, and we think maybe we're in a waiting room, but he comes in and says, right, get changed here, and basically motions us to then proceed through to this wooden door on the left. So myself, Martin and Daniel, we get changed, put a towel around us, and we go in. The Turkish baths are basically like being in a church, because the ceilings are really high up and they're domes with coloured glass, but there's just these little mini sinks on the floor and along all of the walls, which are filled up with hot water, and you basically go in, wash yourself, go into the sauna, and then a large heavy set Turkish guy will come into the sauna and demand that you leave with him, sit you down next to one of these small sinks and wash you, lift your arms up, scrub you, the works. At the start, when he first started washing me down with this cloth, I noticed all of this stuff was appearing on my arms, like long, thin, like sausage-like things, and at first I thought maybe it was the cloth, because it was a dark colour like the cloth was, maybe coming away, and then I realised actually no, that's my dead skin that this guy is peeling off of me. It was so gross. It's kind of awkward being washed by a heavy-set Turkish man who's then throwing buckets of water over you, bit like being washed when you're a child, but yeah, it's fine. He then gets you to lay on some hot marble, and he begins to give you a massage, but it's not really a massage. He puts his fingers in between every single muscle in your body. It felt like at one point he was trying to like put his fingers in between my rib cage. It was the most painful thing I've ever done, and I was there hitting the marble in pain as he does it on, you know, each leg 3 or 4 times. Daniel was laying next to me laughing, you know, thinking it was hilarious. That's how much pain I was in. And when it was his go, he was almost crying, you know, just like me. It was so painful. It was a bizarre experience, because you have this thin like tea towel wrapped around you, and he moves it around so that he can get in your thigh, and it's just it's an uncomfortable, strange, awkward situation to be in, but totally worth it for the experience. Yeah, it was just bizarre. It was so incredibly hot in there, because there's no in-between room. There's no room where it's cooler than the sauna. It's like it's just one big sauna, but you see it on the floor. You know, there's a little cutaway where the water is draining and flowing out, and it's just incredible how it's done. And you've got this whole huge like church-like room where this is all in, that you got to from going down through a doorway on the main street that took you down a very narrow long corridor, and then you know, out of nowhere comes this huge church-like building that you're inside of, that you couldn't see from the street, that you can't see from the street next to it. It's just like hidden away, and it was just unbelievably yeah, it was just really incredible to do something. And all of the guys in there were local guys. There were no tourists in there at all. There were no Westerners in there at all, apart from us, and the rest of them were all the Turkish guys, you know, having their, you know, their weekly, monthly, whatever, having their Turkish bath. So it was yeah, it was really interesting, very painful, very awkward, but well worth the experience.